The wind may return suddenly with even greater strength. Since 90% of hurricane casualties occur from drowning, you must evacuate islands and beaches and other vulnerable locations as early as possible. And those seeking shelter should shut off water, gas, and electricity before leaving their home. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Dominicans, Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property, you homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Oh boy, did you see what was going on after outside of the Goodwill Primary School this morning? I was amazed on the first day of school. Parents fighting. What kind of message are you wanting to send to your students there, huh? I'm just going to pause there. That's, of course, one of the subjects brought up during the lunch hour. People are, this morning we're talking about education and responsibility, right? So what kind of message are you sending to students when this video is going viral to students or to parents fighting outside of Goodwill School? I tried to get the story, but I've not been successful as to why or what is the reason. You could see one hole in another locks and just a mess outside of the Goodwill Primary School. We'll find out now. We'll try to find out more, and I will let you know what was going on. But what a scandal! Shame on you guys. On the first day of school. A call for an emergency meeting of the Calypso Association. Just Saturday. There was a meeting of some sort, and some decisions were taken. But a few members, there were members on Zoom, I was being told. But were not given the right to cast their vote. One of the Calypsonians I have on the telephone at this time that's now calling for an emergency meeting, among others, is Mr. Salomon Hixie. On the telephone, Mr. Hixie, long time. How are you doing, sir? How are you? How are you?
I am fine. I am fine.
Well, I'm happy to be talking to you this afternoon. You seem to be one of those. A lot of Calypsonians have contacted me and said to me that something illegal took place on Saturday. Can you explain? Can you explain that? Explain,
Okay,
Hissy.
but
What went on then Saturday?
let me tell you,
Tell
I
me.
am Imam Salamat, and one of the creators of Dominica Calypso Association.
Right.
On behalf of all Dominican Calypsonians, I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to refute the statement made by Davidson Observer Victor, claiming that his administration was returned as the executive body in an AGM that took place on Saturday, 6 September at Calypso House. Now, the background to that is Article 42 of the Calypso Association that was made and under the company's ordinance caption 318 declares that the association shall no later than the 30th of June of the same year hold a general meeting as its annual general meeting. This general meeting, though we call for it, urgently call for it, they tell us we are just troublemakers, and they have it on the 6th of September, which is so far from the before the 30th of June. Okay, Article 24 says that executive members, all of whom shall be elected by the annual general meeting within 28 days after their term has expired on June 2nd. So they are no longer really a realistic executive because their office was closed on June 2nd of this year. Article 14 states that no member shall serve more than 2 consecutive terms. These guys have served 10 consecutive terms. They're not giving anybody a chance. And Article 44, and that is to do with the question you really asked me, it declares that if at the expiration of 1 hour after the time fixed for any annual general meeting, the members present are not sufficient to form a quorum, such meetings shall be considered as dissolved on the demand of members. Members, I know, demanded that the meeting be adjourned, and they were ignored. I have copy of voice copy of that, and they were ignored after the usual shouting match or matches. Actually, the Article 44B continues on to say that in all other cases, the meeting shall stand adjourned to the same day in the next week at the same time and place, and as notice to that effect be posted to each member by the interim secretary within 24 hours. So when the so-called president go on radio and
you call him the so-called president? So he's not duly elected? Hold on. You call him the so-called president?
Well, he's not the president because his term ended on the 2nd of June of this year, and there should have been an election by the 20th of June or the 30th of June. And in this meeting, there was no election. There was no election. To say that you had a resolution passed, how can you have a resolution passed when there was only about 15 to 17 people in the meeting, in the so-called meeting? And most of the members in the meeting were executive members. At first, there were 5, and then 3 others came. So there was at least 8 executive members. 8 from 17. Think of that. Think of 8 from 17, and you have in elections. What you expect? You didn't have elections.
So there was not a quorum. You're saying that there was not a quorum there? Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm saying that there was not a quorum to have elections.
Exactly. That is beyond dispute. And I can certainly say that there was no election. I know that for a fact. Because when somebody say, I would like to be nominated, I would like you to put me up for election, one executive member, if you want the name, I can give it to you at another time. One executive member stood up and said, this was the election. That member always have a power. So that member stood up and said, this was the election. So this was illegal. The whole function was illegal. It was meant to be illegal. I warned about that map long before they had that meeting. I told you about that, and I said I wanted to come on the air to warn Calypsonians that this was going to happen, but you were quite busy with other things, and you didn't give me the opportunity. But it has occurred just as I predicted. Actually, they came with a resolution. They actually came with a written resolution and pulled out the written resolution after a long argument about closing the meeting and having and putting it back for 2 weeks. Let's put it back for 2 weeks. They had that particular person got up and read a resolution, and then they just took it as the resolution passed. You cannot pass a resolution without a quorum. End of story.
Wow.
This is law in under the Dominica under the company's ordinance caption 318. This is law.
And you're certainly concerned about that.
I'm very. It's too long this kind of thing has been going on. I tried my best. Remember, I was telling you before when I was talking to you that I trying to stay away from this kind of thing, anything to do with Executive and Calypso Association, because every time I open my mouth, people start to insult me about my situation, my present situation at the time. They use that as a cover to try to shut my mouth. If you just talk about that, we're going to talk about your situation, which doesn't make sense. Because if...
As a matter of fact, somebody already texted me and said that Hicksy should not be speaking in that situation because should not, in other words, should be ostracized because of your current situation. That's what somebody's...
Exactly.
Yes.
That is true. That is
and I reminded the person that I think, we should listen sometimes to the message and not the messenger.
Exactly. Let me tell you something that is important. It's very important. I need Calypsonians to be aware of the situation and to not continue to let this thing happen. We have had it, and every time a change has been made, when it has discrepancies in Calypso Association, I'm always having to sacrifice myself, which is I'm sacrificing myself now because I know the response I'm going to get from people like you just mentioned there. I have to end up sacrificing myself. So Calypsonians that don't care.
So you're loving Calypso so much that you're willing to sacrifice yourself there.
I created Calypso Association. I'm one of the creators of Calypso Association. I'm one of the fighters of Calypso Association. I was one of the persons that walked up and down when lawyers didn't want to back us when we were trying to get Calypso Association, that went to people and ended up having Calypso Association. I have enemies up to this day for creating Calypso Association. So even if I wanted to step back and think it burns. And I'll tell you something. Another person who helped create Calypsonian Liberator had cursed me up so much because I wanted to take a back step. I said, I'm not in a position to do what I'm doing there now. Liberator, go and do all your thing, that is all your business, and don't put me in it. And here I am. Because when I heard this statement by the so-called president, it just burned me. I couldn't sit down and just let it happen. I don't care what.
So I have not gotten that statement, but remind us what did the president say, Mr. Observer? What did he say?
He said that they had a resolution, and the resolution, and at the elections they put them back, the whole executive back as well. That is the paraphrase what he said. And that is not true. They had long argument because I know a couple Calypsonians wanted to be nominated to get positions, and they were stopped down. You cannot do those kind of things. We're in a democracy. We're supposed to be in a wonderful day. Okay, the Jews doing it, but that doesn't mean we have to do it in Dominica. You cannot be people that singing about justice morning, noon, and night, and you're doing worse. Because if my contention is, if I steal $1,000 from a millionaire, that is $1,000 from a millionaire. But if I steal the last $5 from my grandmother, check the disparity on that. Check the difference.
Right.
So when you have like a Calypso Association and you're destroying its scope, the Constitution, and you want to talk about Constitution from other people, you just shut your mouth. They have to shut their mouth, not me. I'm Calypso. Who are you? I am Calypso. I was born a Calypsonian. I just stopped in being a Calypsonian.
Calypso controversy, boy, a few months before the actual season begins. That's very interesting. Now, what's going to happen now, Hixie? I mean, you're calling for an emergency meeting? What are you calling for?
It's not really me. One of the Calypsonians put forward an appeal to the people for us to call for a meeting, an emergency meeting. That is the right. That is the right of any Calypsonian to do that. And once you get the 7 Calypsonians to sign it, you have a right to that emergency meeting. So we were hoping that they will contest. If they do contest, we have to do an injunction in court. I've done that injunction about 3 or 4 times. So it's quite an easy thing. And the injunction always ending up, if it reaches the injunction stage, it always ending up that they get out. Whenever it reaches the injunction stage. So I just hoping that they wouldn't make it reach that stage. And
so is it anything personal, Hexie? Nothing personal? No.
No, I'm pretty much it's personal. It's not personal. I wasn't part of it. I wasn't even on the Calypso's chat. I was on Stardom chat. I don't know what was going on. People calling me, telling me, and I telling them in not nice words, don't tell me nothing about Calypso. I just here making Calypso, writing for a few people and doing my own songs and writing Calypso. I'm the wretched of the earth, you know. I am the wretched of the earth, which is my next Calypso. I'm the wretched of the earth. So that is what they call me. So I just there writing my Calypso, keeping to myself. Most people think I away. I'm not away. I just have my problems I'm trying to solve, and I just stay into myself. I didn't want to get involved in that, but I'm a Calypsonian. I will always be a Calypsonian. You know, I have people that close and dear to me that I'm talking to you now, Matt, about Calypso. They feel like to just give up on Calypso because Calypsonians don't like me, which is a fact. Calypsonians don't like me.
You think they don't like you? Why would they not like you? Why would they not like you? I mean,
because listen, I'm not here for them to like me. So whether they like me or not doesn't really matter. I'm not here for Calypsonians to like me. So it really doesn't matter. But the point remains, I cannot see is this statement. This annoyed me. This hits a spot in me. And not only that, in the meeting, I was called so much names. I was called so much names in that meeting that members had to stand up and tell certain people on the executive to retract what they're saying. And they did retract. Well, you can beat them up for that. They did retract and apologize to the
who
doesn't have a quorum, so it doesn't have any election and anything.
I did not follow that meeting too because I'm on my show on Saturday. Who constitutes what you consider now to be the legal executive? Who constitutes the legal executive?
To be honest, what should have happened? They should have had organized a steering committee for it. But in the interim, it would be the same people. They more like a steering committee. The president should stand on himself and have a steering committee to organize. The secretary must be in it because he has to notify everybody and have organized for them to have a meeting in a week, 2 week, 3 weeks time quickly so that they could get on with the season. I'm not saying that they cannot be returned, What I'm saying is the only person on the executive that legitimately could be returned was Joey Lloyd. I forget his Calypso name. That is the only person. Joey Lloyd was the only person that was legitimate for re-election. All the others should have been gone long years ago. And they're here. It's like their grandmother gives them lists
Well, you seem to know a lot about the Calypso Association. So how long that any member should serve on the executive? Paint that picture for me.
Say that again.
How long should any executive member serve on the executive?
Okay. It says that you cannot be, and I read it out for you, no executive member shall serve more than 2 consecutive terms. So you can be on the executive for a long time. But if you serve terms like, say, 1-year term and a 2-year term consecutively, the other term you have to step down. It's automatic that you step down. It's like the president of America. It's the same kind of situation. You serve 2 terms, have the option to serve 2 terms, you serve 2 terms, and then you have to step down. You can't go up for next term.
Interesting.
That is it. One time consecutively. You cannot. But these people have been, that map, they have been there forever. The honey, so sweet, they've been there forever. And Matt, is important to note that these people are presiding over Calypso and Calypso Association at its lowest, It's lowest, Matt. They are presiding. Calypso, what's Calypso? Now Calypso is at its lowest. What is their attraction to it? Is not to say they can say we good for Calypso when they have taken it up there and have dragged it down to the.
But why would you say that Calypso is at its lowest and you are actually a Calypsonian? Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
It's the truth, Mark. It's the truth, and I can give you a little level, a little marker.
Yes, give me a marker. Give me a marker.
You cannot even go on the Calypso, not even on its local, international stage, much less Dominica Calypso. Dominica Calypso is not even, and I don't go any further. Dominica Calypso is not even, and they want to, these people trying to blame other people for their own problem. It's they that causing that situation in Calypso. Calypso Association have never supported Calypso. The first thing Calypso says, Calypso Association, I'm saying about Calypso is that the Calypso Association is to seek to improve the overall standard of Calypso and Calypsonians in Dominica, and to encourage the continued development of Calypso as an art form in Dominica and the wider Caribbean, to represent, express, and give effect to the views and opinions of Calypsonians, not kill it, and to seek to bring greater unity among local and regional Calypsonians. To act as bargaining agent for all Calypsonians, and that is the major thing. That is Article 3, that is the memorandum of 3. Mm-hmm. To act as a bargaining agent for Calypsonians. And that is where I have a problem, because Calypsonians have problem getting on certain forums and Calypso Association, instead of taking a deep breath and going and negotiate, as people negotiate on behalf of Calypsonians like DICE and other Calypsonians that, you
have not said it, but I think you have some problems with us, with Calypsonians not even being represented on the World Creole Music Festival. That is a major concern for you.
I never said that, but if you say that, you're not wrong.
I think that's what you want to say. But anyway,
My point is,
yes.
Calypso Association should represent. Think of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it. Whether it's Dice or anybody they put as on the Krill Festival,
Right.
they put some Calypsonians. Calypso Association have to get the money from anywhere to organize a show like what Boo you're doing, like what everybody doing, and organize a show so that it have a showcase. You even bring all Calypsonians. You could bring Lady A, Maui Saki Abu there. Bring Calypsonians, popular Calypsonians. You could bring workshop, something. And do a little show. They'll be there for 2 minutes. Calypso Association will pay their fee for them. And you just be there. You bring Raymond Lawrence to organize the show, to have a performance never to forget. You understand? It shouldn't be individuals, guys, fighting. We're supposed to be representing Calypsonians. Shouldn't be individual guys fighting to organize that. That's what Calypso Association should be about. And not certain Calypsonians. You get certain Calypsonians, it has certain, these are Calypsonians and everybody else just singing Calypso. That's not the truth. Some people that never make quarterfinals are more Calypsonian than 20 people that have won crown in Dominica already. And that's not a joke.
Well, I'll tell you what, the answer is to call an executive meeting. That's the point you want to push this afternoon. You want an executive, another meeting, another AGM, so we could rectify what is going on there.
It's a general meeting. It's not an executive meeting. That is what they're trying to do. The lawyers, they have sent in an appeal. The lawyers have scrutinized the appeal, and they have said that it is well-founded, and that should, if they don't twin it, we will go and have an injunction on them and the show and anything they do relating to Calypso Association. So that is the state we're in.
All right.
And so that is how it is.
Thank you. Mr. Hicksey seemed very upset about what took place on the weekend. Observer and the rest of the executive. Maybe I'll have to call the Observer to deny, confirm, or explain just what happened on the weekend. What should the fans know? Calypso always have controversy. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. We're going to call a few people. Are you there?
Good afternoon to you and to the listening public.
Good afternoon.
I am supportive of everything that Observer have said. We have hit the nail.
You mean Hicksey? Observer has not spoken yet. Hicksey.
Oh, well, whoever the person is, all what he said, the last person called there, he hit the nail right on the head. That is truth that you can take to the bank.
Okay.
For real. Speak it out, my brother. That is facts, and you have to talk about it. Thank you very much.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, I'll call the Observer to find out what's going on. Yes, to clarify.
Now, what comes to mind was when Brother Naren's vehicle was shot up with bullet holes. And it came to me that did the Calypso Association have an insurance to replace Brother Naren's vehicle? When Inspector Sai got an attempted lawsuit from which big hierarchy of the government was he represented? Do they have the facilities to take care of the Calypsonians when they get sued, when their vehicles get shot up? That's my concern. I wish we could have asked Brother Hicksey what are the criteria.
So you basically supporting Hicksey's point that the Calypso Association is not representing their members. That's what your point is.
Exactly. I hope Brother Naren did not have to put his hand in his pocket to replace his vehicle because he was singing on behalf and with the Calypso Association, and they must have an insurance, a liability insurance to protect and take care of their very own. If Picky have to sing only one more year, I will try to get the crown. That was a deep song. The guy is hurting. Are we taking care of Hexie? The man has given his all for more than 40 years to the Calypso Association when he's singing from his heart that he will try one more year. Just one more year I will try. You know, those things really attract me deeply, Matt. Take care, brother.
All right. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Calypso controversy. Mr. Observer, stand by. I'll give you a call in a minute. There are other Calypsonians standing to talk. Let's see what happens, yeah? Marlon Jewedel, some people may refer to you as a troublemaker in Calypso since you emerged on that stage there, writing. But good afternoon to you, sir. How you doing?
Matt, I'm doing very well, and I always say to people that I embrace my title of troublemaker because once you challenge status quo, once you challenge authority, whether you're right or wrong, you are known as a troublemaker. So what embrace my title.
What is the status quo that was broken on the weekend? Marlon, explain to me.
Well, no status quo was broken. What I was present at the meeting.
You were?
And
from where you are?
I was present at
Zoom, okay.
Via Zoom, myself and a few other Calypsonians. And I do not want to say too much yet because certain requests are being made. What I will say is the members of the executive have been calling on writers to come forward. They have been calling on people to come forward and help with the writing, help with developing the art form, which is what they are tasked to do based on the Constitution.
Yes.
So, of the people that decided to come forward in 2025, and I am very much ready for 2026. I have 12 songs ready for next year. So I plan to continue to contribute in a big way to Calypso. So we have to put that first. Okay? So now, when I witnessed what I witnessed on Saturday, I did not like most of it. But I'm a newcomer to the meetings and things, so I kind of just observe certain things, take my notes. I made one comment, and I just waited to see what's going to happen. Matt, there was no quorum established on Saturday for any voting to take place. That's number one. So, as far as I am concerned, and I guess a lawyer might be able to confirm, any election, any resolution to keep executive, change constitution would be null and void because we do not have a quorum. Now, the argument is being presented that, well, things have been done in the past without a quorum. But guess what? Even if it was done in the past without a quorum, that doesn't make it right. Okay? Because my presence at that meeting was quickly questioned, and the Constitution was pulled out and asked under what, based on what section of the Constitution I was present at the meeting, if I was there via proxy or if I was representing other people. But that same Constitution also shows that there are several things that the association is not doing. So they call for newcomers. I'm a newcomer. I'm one of the newcomers. And there are certain members within the executive that knows very, very, very well that I am not a pushover, and I will challenge things that I see needs to be challenged. There's a lot that needs to be corrected. I am joining the call. Brother Hixie, for an emergency meeting to rectify what happened on Saturday and other issues in general. If you want to improve Calypso, if you want certain people to come back to Calypso, if you want the people, the public to be interested in Calypso, if you want more sponsors to come on board and sponsor Calypso, you must manage the Calypso properly. And you must not impose yourself on the Calypsonians like as if we're in Russia, North Korea, or China.
So you're not satisfied at this point in time that you think that Calypso's, the association is being managed properly?
It is not being managed properly, and persons are like important questions are being asked, and it is being either ignored or dismissed. And there's some level of manipulation I notice that's going on, where when people challenge things, they have been manipulated into bowing down and sweeping things under the table. You ask for writers to come forward. This writer, composer, producer, arranger has come forward, and there are certain things I think that needs to be addressed, and I am sure that most of it, many Calypsonians agree. But here's what happened. A lot of the Calypsonians has had the same issues that I and other people have, but they gave up and they walk away, they stop competing. I could name several Calypsonians that decided they're not competing again because of the management of Calypso. So it cannot be every year is the same thing. It's so it is, where nobody wants to attend AGM because they know they're going to come there and they're going to be talked down at. You're going to have people being arrogant, dismissive of their concerns. No. It stops this year. It stops in 2020. It stops. And the appropriate action will be taken to fix this nonsense. Because we're newcomers now.
Brother Hicksy says he thinks that Observer, the president, and maybe one or two others have overstayed their welcome.
According to
go ahead.
Well, the same constitution that was brought out to challenge my presence at the meeting states that no member shall serve more than 2 terms. Okay? Now, the executive came to the meeting with a prepared amendment, a resolution to amend or to suspend or to do whatever to the constitution to allow them to serve a 3rd term. Okay?
Oh.
No, see that? Any resolution or amendment, okay, to change the constitution to allow you to serve a 3rd term, that should only come up after the nominations and elections process. So if you allow for nominations and sitting members of the executive are nominated again, then somebody can point out, hey, you cannot be nominated because of the constitution. And that is when a motion like that can be presented and say, okay, well, let's move a motion that says that members may serve more than 3 terms. And then you continue the nominations process, and then you do the voting. And if any of the sitting members are voted again, then that amendment to the constitution would have applied, and they would be able to serve. But you just come with your thing prepared already,
without a quorum.
Without a quorum, the People's King came, he read a resolution stating that they continue in full stop. Show of hands, I think it had about 7 people, then people started to object. Some people started to walk away, and while people walking away, they asked for a show of hands, and they just declared themselves re-elected while people walking out and arguing. It's total madness, total madness. We only see those things there in Russia and China. Okay? This is Dominica. All right? So this thing needs to be corrected. I want to contribute, and I know many people want to participate, but they have to participate in something that is governed properly.
In the name of Calypso, what do you think is a quick solution to this problem?
The quick solution is to call an emergency AGM, invite the members that are probably disenfranchised and discouraged, invite them back. Now that this thing is now public, I'm sure some of them listening, and they will gain more interest in what is going on. Call a meeting and present everything. If you want to present the amendment, present it. But call a meeting where you have a quorum and present your proposed resolution, present nominees, and whoever come out of that meeting as the executive, that's fine. Because some people will now try to make this thing like is one set trying to overthrow another set. No, it is one set asking for you to do things properly. Because if you set that bad precedent this year, you will open up the door for a future executive to just come and ram anything through. in the presence of 4 members, 3 members, however they want. So do it right this year, so it will be done right all the time. You want to talk about constitution? Let us follow the constitution for everything. Everything.
Madam Giraldel, thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, thank you. So, observer, stand by your phone or whatever the executive member, whoever was there on Saturday. I'm going to give you a call. Hello, talk to me. We need to get
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. How you? Hey, Soul Post, another Calypso. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the original theory of America, the proper Calypso. Man, Calypso is a thing as you said, always have controversy.
Yes.
Now, Malan just come in there and start to creating some, what I don't understand. Now, let me tell you something. I've been singing.
What, is he talking the truth or is he not talking the truth?
There's some truth about it, but there's still some controversial part that he put into the arena. Man,
so please explain to me what is the controversy and what is the truth. I just want every side of the story here. Go ahead. Yes.
Darren is our secretary, right?
Okay.
And I'm our financial man. And that's been doing a very, very good job. The Calypsonians allow somebody to perform. And if they're performing creditable, there's no need to get rid of the person. Calypso have been suffering.
But there's the constitution that you need to follow, right?
Yes, we follow in the constitution, but there's still certain parts in the constitution that says if the person's doing a good job, you leave the person. My brother, this thing about
but that has to be a majority, my brother. There has to be a majority. If the majority of the Calypsonians agree to the resolution, then it's legitimate. But if you have a quorum, you have 7 people representing Calypso, that's where the problem is.
But those persons who are representing that Calypso is not using. Those guys have been putting out their tooth and nail working hard day and night.
And we agree. I will agree basically for Observer to Silver Games. The point is that they're saying that you have to follow the constitution. If you have 7 members at a meeting, they're not allowed to speak for the rest of the members because it's not a quorum. You understand?
That is correct. That is correct.
That's the point.
That is correct.
That's the point.
Is correct. But on the other hand, we are saying that when people are in position and they are functioning creditable as respect to what Calypso is responsible for, we allow those guys to perform. Darren has been doing a good job. Hunter been doing a good job. Observer been doing a good job. Why we should change them to bring in anybody else?
It's about the constitution, my brother. Some will agree. Let's take it to politics. Some will agree and some might not agree that maybe Skerrit, for example, is doing a good job, right? You understand?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So don't you think that we need to have an election to basically repeat or have him repeat to serve again?
Yeah, I understand that.
Exactly my point, my brother. We just have to follow the constitution. Some can't be allowed to break it and some can't. That's my point to you, Solpus. Yes, Observer might be doing a good job. Hunter might be doing a good job. Daryl may be doing a good job. And we all agree. But the point that these people are making is about the Constitution. We need to follow the Constitution. On the telephone, hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes.
Hey, man, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Yeah, just say my judge in there, man. Soul Poo's artist.
Yes.
Man, that's why you see me. I trying to keep out that certain people business, if you understand me.
Yes, sir.
Calypso kind of my business, you know, but it's still not my business because when you have people like Soul Poo's inside it, I personally know that suffer Soul Poo's, they treat him bad. I will give an example. The association, you know, somebody saying, this is the second name he called there, and who is saying that should run there. Macho is that I tell him already, that's why he out is my partner say. But I tell Soul Poo's already, they're living like, you know, I don't know if you see any neighbor yours, fire dog. Leave it there for a whole week or month, they give it to water. And when they come to lose it, the dog run around the same master that tight and treat it bad there for weeks. And it want to bite you, a stranger that coming to save its life. And when I was asking Soul Food and them, Soul Food need to take out friend and know wickedness from goodness, and voting is voting. And if they bother to go, they vote them out, let them stay out. And I explain.
All right, thank you. Wrong is wrong, right is right. The members agree on a resolution and it's a majority, let's fly. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
As I'm listening there.
Good afternoon to you.
Martin, any organization, you haven't got a constitution.
Yes.
Yes, so you have to follow the constitution. Even though a person is doing well, right? You're doing well. So if you're doing well, you just stay there everlasting then. If they want to, they vote you back. If they say it's 2 terms, it's 2 terms. If they put 3 terms, yeah, you vote on it, it's 3 terms. But in the meantime, and people must, you mustn't just jump and say things, You have to follow the constitution until it is changed, man. Or else it's chaos you will have.
And every day on the radio, every day, most 90% of the time, we ask our Prime Minister to follow the Constitution. So it should happen for Skerrit and it should not happen for anybody else. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, 158. Talk to me, yeah.
Yes, Matt, I am an outsider listening to what is happening. And I believe they have to follow the Constitution, Whether they are doing a good job or not, they have to follow the Constitution. If there is not a quorum, the meeting is invalid. That's as simple as that. Okay?
Simple as that. Thank you very much on the telephone. Hello, talk to me. It's not about the messenger. I was just telling somebody, sometimes the message is a valid one. Hello, talk to me. Yeah. I'll try to reach out to the observer in a minute. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
And Matt, 8 members cannot just come and change
the
Constitution like that, The Companies Act says 75% of the membership have to pass that resolution. What is the total membership? He did not disclose that to us. I am sure there are about 200 Calypsonians registered. So 75% of them have to approve to change the Constitution. We cannot go in Parliament and just change our Constitution like that, There are certain criteria we have to follow. So 10, 12 fellas cannot just come there on Saturday and say they change Constitution.
Seven.
Yes. 7 of them never happen. Take care, bro.
Matt, I'm a Calypso fan. Law is law, and it should be followed. If not, free the jail. Now, even if you think they are doing a good job, you have to go to the process according to the Constitution. You cannot just leave people in their mess because you think they're doing a good job without challenge to self to do better. Soul Post just demonstrated that the problem was the mindset of our society. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, I agree.
I'm a big fan Calypso fan, bro. What's up?
How are you, my brother? How you doing? Yes.
Man, I'm a big fan Calypso fan. I never miss a show from elimination to quarters to semis to final.
You're a big fan.
Yes, man, big fan, big man. Never miss. Matt, but I'm disappointed. You know what I'm hearing. And the sad thing, Martin. I'm going to say something that I can. Please allow me. Matt, the very people who say or sometimes they cry you down are the very people sometimes when you put them in position, they do the very thing that they cry down. Matt, I say that to say, Matt, I know well, and I know that 95% of the executive members on that Calypso Association are opposed to Roosevelt's credit and the government. And like you said, the crying down, this all kind of thing about constitution. Probably only one member of the executive that is on the other side, which is the red side, and I will not call it. The rest are opposition to the Labour Party and the government and Roosevelt's credit. But look at what they're doing. They're not even in government. I look at Calypso Association and look at what they're doing. That is just to tell you, man, human being, just put a man in a position and massive problems, especially a black man. Put forth, Matt. Thank you very much.
As I said, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. We condemn the politicians, be it on the Labour side, be it on the opposition side, when they don't follow the law or the Constitution.
I listen, and sometimes I say my people is the worst people on the planet, Something is wrong, they want to still say it right, I mean, that is plenty. It means about the 2 million % Rasta, because, Calypso have to be, expand, Rasta. Right is right, wrong is wrong, Man sing about Calypso to bring out the truth. Face the truth and deal with it, Rasta. Don't make yourself a fool, Rasta. It's too much of this thing in Dominica. Now, bonfire and the wicked, see, last year I know that. Sin.
Dominica, the ocean is calling, and so are we. Rosalie Bay Distillery, the world's only conservation distillery, is launching a limited edition rum to Ezola Men, Treasures of the Sea, and we want your artwork on the label. If you're a Dominican creative, painter, illustrator, designer, this is your chance to make history, capture the rhythm of the sea, our wild coast, our hidden treasures, and it could be your artwork on every bottle of this limited edition rum. The winning artist receives 1,000 EC, a feature on our platforms, a first edition bottle, and the chance to collaborate with our team. Submit your design by September 30th to kgeorge@oceanspower.org or deliver it in person at Nature Island Dive or the Rosalie Conservation Center. For full entry details and questions, visit us on Instagram at Rosalie Bay Distilling or email kgeorge@oceanspower.org. Rosalie Bay Distillery, where craft meets conservation.
New game in town. Get ready to match 5 and you can win 10K. Let's go. Just $2. Match 5 numbers from 1 to 29 to win. Draws every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. It's easy, fun, and local. Match 5, your local jackpot game. Dominican National Lottery. Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business running out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
I see Golo went shopping for farming supplies. So I asked him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, that's how it has sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
I reached out to the Observer. Not gotten a comment just yet. Also sent him a text message to say that I'm just trying to get your view on what happened on Saturday. There's been no response just yet. I will keep trying to get the views of the other side. Yes.
Let me tell you like a secret.
Tell me.
You see the heartfelt kind of sympathy things to people when they're doing well. So hey, doing well, they can stay there another term, and when next election comes, oh, they're doing well, they can stay, they can go and go. You see that? This is what causes people to get comfortable, and then arrogance start coming in, dictatorship start coming in, self-exaltation start coming in, and chaos begins. So that is the chaos that's going on in Calypso Association now, my brother. Okay, that is it.
Improvements only come with change. When people stay at the top too long, it becomes about them and not the institution. Calypso Association is now about individuals and not Calypso institution. That's a viewpoint there. Same with our governance. It becomes about those in position, how long they stayed, irrespective of how terrible they may be doing. The point I was making a while ago. In a nutshell, those of you who joined us, okay. The Calypso Association had an AGM on Saturday. There were 7 members present, according to information that I've gotten all weekend. According to their constitution, no member and no executive member can serve more than 2 terms. And a resolution was passed to have some of the executive members serve again. The argument going forward is that there was not a quorum, so the members that were present at that meeting could not decide for the entire Calypso Association, or could not put that resolution forward because there were not enough members. That's basically in a nutshell what happened. So there was not a quorum, okay? There was not a quorum to take that decision. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, man, I was supposed to call back.
Call back, yes, tell me.
Yes, man, you see, what's going on there? This executive which we have right now, I can attest to it, man. I'm not a just come Calypsonian. Right. I'm not business for over 20-something years, almost 30 years. I'm not a junior Calypso. Right. Now, this is the best executive we have had for the last.
And we're not disputing that. People are not, the persons who are concerned are not disputing that at all. I am not a Calypsonian. I would actually give observer a vote again. But they're saying follow the Constitution.
Yeah, we follow the Constitution. But
no, you according to them, you did not follow the Constitution on Saturday. There were 7 members present. Were you at that meeting?
No, I was not at the meeting because I had something to do.
So they're saying that there needed to be a quorum to pass that resolution.
Yes, there must be. There should be. And I agree to that. But what I'm saying now, there are certain individuals that want to go back on that executive. It's for a particular reason. Matt, I can tell you and I can attest to that. Another Calypsonian can attest to that too. There were previous members on the executive. For example, if Flo gives them 10 phones, all the 10 girls have before, Calypsonian getting nothing. Whatever the sponsor should give those guys, that's what those guys missing. Those guys are missing stuff. What sponsorship giving them to give Calypsonian for them to give their girls and their close friends?
No, but that's not the issue, Solpos. That's not the issue. While I support there may have been some illegal stuff going on. That's why some members want to get in. But I'm saying let the members decide who should serve on the executive. That's my point, you know. It's not about who should be there and who should not be there. I'm saying let it be a legal. Something legally constituted. The Calypsonians must learn to come to their AGM as well. If they had turned out, things would be different because there would have been a quorum. Huh? So when they call you out, go to your meetings. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yeah. Yes,
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something, yes.
Why don't we like the truth? I say we. You understand that? I mean, I said already, you have a constitution, Papa Boche. Whether that one do good, that you have to follow the constitution, Matt. I mean, you follow the constitution, you have your people. You cannot go up after 2 years, or how much years? After 2 terms, they said. You out. Then you have another set of people, you come in, you have your Calypsonians. Then you vote there for who you want, Matt. Not that, no?
Yeah, that's it.
You vote
Simple.
for who you want. Yeah, just like an election or a single election. You vote for who you want. When you put them there, they're not doing good. You vote them out to put another group of people. But you know, sometimes when you stay in a thing too long, after a while, you have no ideas. You know, you run out of ideas. When you stay in a thing too long, Matt, you run out of ideas. And that's mean if you want the executive and you're not on it, you can still contribute to Calypso while you're out of the executive. You understand? Now, another thing, why you want to, I'm just asking, I'm not a Calypso and I love my Calypso. Okay. But I mean, I like to see things done properly. You have to, why do you want to stay an extra term? Is there a reason why you want to stay an extra term? There is nobody else that can do anything there. You have to try people. Give people a break. Oh my God, man.
All right, thank you. Now, one member who prefers to remain anonymous at this time says that half of the information there presented by the other side or the side presented information may not be true, and that the association will meet with the public and share their own side of the story. And they will decide as a group how to respond. I really want to hear that side of the story, huh? We have another subject coming up in a few minutes, so stick around. Hello, talk to me, yes.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
I heard, and I think Peter Karam especially was saying that they did not have a quorum to take the resolutions that they did. Matt, they must have had a quorum in order to begin the meeting. Now, if you begin a meeting with a quorum, Matt, and during the course of the meeting, 3/4 walk away, those who remain are legally, and any decision they take is legal binding.
That is not the information I'm getting.
I do not know. Did they have a quorum to begin the meeting in the first place? We need to know that.
Exactly. So I'm saying once the Calypso Association present their side, then that would be a different story.
All right. Well, Well, let us hear this side. Let's get it's two sides to every story.
Exactly,
But two or three. Three sides to every story.
Maybe four.
His side, her side, and
maybe four sides too. Maybe four sides. Well, I suspect the executive may be meeting privately and deciding on a way forward. As I said, I was just talking to an executive member who prefers to remain anonymous at this time. Says that they will come up with their side of the story. So they will respond as a group, which would be the right thing to do, huh? Every day, as I said, every day we complain about the government, we complain about the opposition and the constitution. Let's just say the constitution of every organization or group should be followed, okay? We'll come back to another subject in a few minutes. Stick around, yes.
Hey,
yes, sir. Talk to me.
Yeah, I never know you're going to switch there, man. Anyway, I got there already. The thing is this, man. Why some people don't want to let go? Or just, go back in the election, if they choose them back, they choose them back. Just let go. And this thing about everything is at court to tribunal or whatever. The fact is, time for election is time for election. And I'm surprised. This is why at time I tell the same soul foods, the right to the treating, we were doing some time. And I said, the way they're treating their soul foods. You better come out of it because he say he love it. I said, don't make they abuse you. And look now, I hear you want to go with their shit. Anyway, let me come up and let you start another shit.
Thank you. Thank you. You see, now accusations are now flying that the Dominica Calypso Association is behaving just like the government of Dominica when it comes to following the Constitution. And exactly the point. Maybe we can all say Scary doing a good job and he shouldn't go anywhere. But the point is, we need to follow the Constitution, and Soul Post is contradicting himself. That's the viewpoint there. Let's have the final viewpoint there. Yes, you're back on the telephone, Marlon. Yes, go ahead.
Just something quickly.
Let's tell
I had expressed to the group that me speaking out against the process and asking for it to be done properly, it would be made into a Marlon thing as opposed to the message. They will try to focus on the messenger. And listening to Soul Post, you right away, he is instantly heated, ready to answer me. And when you ask him the pertinent questions, he cannot answer. He confirmed he wasn't there. He's agreeing that there needs to be a quorum. So he is calling the station to agree that there should have been a quorum, but he just wants to disagree with me. Let us not make this a Marlon thing.
Let me ask you a question. You were one who followed the meeting from the very beginning on Saturday, right?
From the beginning to the end, yes, I was there.
Was there a quorum at the beginning?
No, absolutely not. There was not a quorum. There was no roll call. The Constitution that they keep referring to also states that you have to maintain a log of the members, and then when you have a log, that's how you do the roll call, and then you see if you have a quorum. Okay, so there was no quorum, there was no log. It's a lot of things that are not being followed, and it's like because certain things will not be followed for many years, it open up the window for people to jump in and do whatever they want. So now you're hearing now, you're not really hearing people saying, okay, the constitution calls for that. You're hearing people finding other reasons for things to happen, how it's happening. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, they're gonna meet and try to present the constitution, but I want to remind them that the constitution has provisions in it that may support the argument, but it also has provisions that will support the other side's argument. Okay, there's a lot to fix, including that constitution, Matt. I read that constitution and I think it needs to be amended and come up to the times. But that's a matter for later. What needs to happen if the current executive feels that majority of the Calypsonians will agree to change the constitution and allow them to serve a third term, just call the emergency meeting, present the resolution for the third term, and then put up yourself again and let people vote. That's all you have to do. If you are confident that majority of the Calypsonians in Dominica want you there for a third term, do it. This is not about removing anybody. As I said to them last night, they may well emerge again as the executive, but emerge the right way. Do not railroad the constitution that you keep bringing up and cherry picking sections from it to suit your agenda. Let's not do that. So let us not do that. It will not stand. I'm telling you right now, it will not stand. So when all you meeting later to respond, just keep that in mind. It will not stand.
Thank you. Right? Thank you, Marlon. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So let's wait and hear the other side. They've been very diplomatic and silent for the time. Let's all the time try to follow the Constitution. And somebody's saying that the caller, I think the last one who spoke about the quorum before Marlon, a quorum is required for any amendments, suspension of the Constitution or of any organization making a major decision, as being described the Calypso Association. The Robert rules are very clear on that one. So let's not blame the politicians. And stick all the time to the Constitution. Hello, talk to me, yes.
Matt.
Yes, sir.
You keep coming up with that word, quorum.
Yes.
What constitutes a quorum at the Calypso Association? It can never be 8 members.
That's the point.
There are more than 100 registered Calypsonians, and 75% of them have to form and make up a quorum at that annual general meeting. Can never be 8 to 10 or even 15 members because the others do not attend. The Companies Act dictates that you must follow the Articles of Association. 75% of your registered membership must make up that quorum. 8 or 10 or 15 members can never be a quorum in the Calypso Association. Take care, partner.
Take care, partner. Take care. Take care.
He called in shopping for farming supplies. So I asked him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, that's how hell sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman. Like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Dominica, the ocean is calling, and so are we. Rosalie Bay Distillery, the world's only conservation distillery, is launching a limited edition rum, Tuesdo La Mer, Treasures of the Sea, and we want your artwork on the label. If you're a Dominican creative, painter, illustrator, designer, this is your chance to make history, capture the rhythm of the sea. Our wild coast, our hidden treasures, and it could be your artwork on every bottle of this limited edition rum. The winning artist receives 1,000 EC, a feature on our platforms, a first edition bottle, and the chance to collaborate with our team. Submit your design by September 30th to kgeorge@oceanspower.org or deliver it in person at Nature Island Dive or the Rosalie Conservation Center. For full entry details and questions, visit us on Instagram at Rosalie Bay Distilling or email kgeorge@oceanspower.org. Rosalie Bay Distillery, where craft meets conservation.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till you fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too. Lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies. Visit Do It Center at the former J. Nassif Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Do it Center.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Toppers snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
New game in town. Get ready to match. You can win. Go. Just $2. Match 5 numbers from 1 to 29 to win. Draws every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. It's easy, fun, and local. Match 5, your local jackpot game. Dominican National Lottery.
To Dominica. I told you we're going to move on to the next subject. Marlon, somebody saying to you, boy, now you're part of the Calypso Association. It's no trouble, son. I told you, you're being described as a troublemaker. And he says he wears his hat with pride. But I'm just waiting to hear from the Calypso Association. I think they may have their own side of the story. That controversy is not... You've not heard the last of it, huh? This is the talk on the block, I said. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. Annette, I'm happy you like my collar. Now let's jump to the other subject. Girl, what do you like? Hello. I had a very interesting announcement on the weekend, which prompted me to ask another question. Let's listen to the Prime Minister. Sounding very happy that this new hotel in the south may be open at the end of the year. Listen to the Prime Minister.
It's expected that the hotel will be opened before the end of 2025. This is a project that's financed by the Citizenship by Investment Program. It is a project that is being developed by a local Dominican. And these are all part of the government's policy, empowering local Dominicans in an effort to creating jobs, in an effort to expanding the economy, in the effort to ensuring that we can have the kind of accommodation and investments that we need in the country to take the country to the next level. So no doubt Ocean Oasis, popularly known as Ocean Edge, will do all of these things. And I think there's huge excitement towards its opening. We are seeing an increased number of visitors into our country. We need more rooms. I recall some years ago we were criticized by the opposition for building hotel rooms. People felt that we don't know why you build hotel rooms. But for you to really truly benefit from the tourism industry, you need rooms because people have to find a place to sleep. People can't open a tent and sleep in an open patch. We need rooms, and we need high quality rooms where people can enjoy what Dominica has to offer. And of course, the sheer number of people who will be employed on the hotel. The taxi operators will benefit. The fishermen will benefit. More fish will be sold to the hotel. More ground provisions and vegetables and fruits produced in Dominica will be sold. So it is not only the hotel itself, but the number of persons who provide direct services to the tourism industry will benefit.
Let me play that clip again. One more time.
It's expected that the hotel will be opened before the end of 2025. This is a project that's financed by the Citizenship by Investment Program. It is a project that is being developed by a local Dominican. And these are all part of the government's policy, empowering local Dominicans in an effort to creating jobs, in an effort to expanding the economy, in the effort to ensuring that we can have the kind of accommodation and investments that we need in the country to take the country to the next level. So no doubt Ocean Oasis, popularly known as Ocean Edge, will do all of these things. And I think there's huge excitement towards its opening. We are seeing an increased number of visitors into our country. We need more rooms. I recall some years ago we were criticized by the opposition for building hotel rooms. People felt that we don't know why you build hotel rooms. But for you to really truly benefit from the tourism industry, you need rooms because people have to find a place to sleep. People can't open a tent and sleep in an open patch. We need rooms, and we need high quality rooms where people can enjoy what Dominica has to offer. And of course, the sheer number of people who will be employed on the hotel. The taxi operators will benefit. The fishermen will benefit. More fish will be sold to the hotel. More ground provisions and vegetables and fruits produced in Dominica will be sold. So it is not only the hotel itself, but the number of persons who provide direct services to the tourism industry will benefit.
Now, right next to the the hotel, the new hotel, looking very lovely. If one has to be objective, there's a lot of controversy surrounding that hotel. But if you have to be objective, it's a very beautiful edifice there on Lale Coco. Now, right next to the hotel, if you're traveling south, it will be right next to the hotel. If you're traveling north, it would be right before the hotel. there is a major fowl production place. Now the question everybody's now asking, with the hotel now being to be open sometime in the near future, should that fall production stay there? If you pass there during the day, as everybody complained, you'll hear or you'll feel or hear a smell. So and of course, thousands of chicken there, thousands of chickens, providing some employment for a few persons there, a number of persons. I can't tell you the number, but there's some fall production taking place. The question this afternoon, should that fall production, should that fall coop in local palace remain there while we see the emergence of that new hotel in that area? That's the big question at this time. I don't think that the people owning that fall coop are prepared to go. On the telephone, 237. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
You and your listeners, Matt.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Matt, I worked on the Ready Hotel is being built for a very short time, sometime last year before.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, the thing about it is the person who had their pen or whatever it is before the hotel started. And if that is so, the hotel, people who had the money to build the hotel, I think I had heard it was $75 million they had.
Mm-hmm.
They should have spoken to the people and asked what is happening, or maybe buy off the place.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person, I do not know who is he or she.
Is a she. Is a she. Is a she. Is a she.
Oh, is a she.
Mm-hmm.
Good news for me.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure these things are in place before you put down 1 ounce of concrete, Matt. You cannot build that and ask you to come and leave it. Now, over the weekend, I was privy to a discussion was within my earshot,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard the person with the fouls and so is asking for $20 million for the place. You know, so that is where it will end up because you did not do what you had to do in the first place. So you have to pay to buy that person.
So you're blaming the developers?
Yes, Matt. Yes, Matt. You cannot start developing a thing like that, and that has a fall hoop there. And if they had 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 falls there, when they see you building, whatever, they can increase their amount of falls or pigs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot leave that there and not decide to talk about it before. Not now. I think only one.
So what advice would you have for the person owning that fall coop?
Stand your ground. Ask for your $20 million because they have it.
$20 million? And the hotel is from my report says worth $75 million.
Matt, the people with the plans, what's the name? The planning division. That's the thing that can tell us what we have been talking about long.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody checks planning division, and so that's why that thing in grammar school fell down, because planning division was not in charge or involved with building of it. You're going to build a $75 million hotel. Get planning division. I'm saying before you start moving. So planning will tell you can't do that there because the people have their thing there. You understand me? So I will tell the person who has that pen or fall pen, stand their ground. Make them give you 25 million, not 20 million.
Well, government may have to You know what they say for development, for countries' development, the government can take over. You send your valuers there, and then they determine, based on market value, what it should cost. But $20 million? Hello, talk to me. Hello, yes.
I have a suggestion on that.
Tell me.
The hotel is built already, and then the person have their fowl cook there. When we pass in there, it's really a smell there.
Right.
But what I would suggest, Matt, speak to that to me for environmental health. Speak to one of them one-on-one, Matt. The environmental people.
Speak to the environmental health.
Yes, that's my suggestion.
But I'm sure. I mean, I have not spoken to them, but I'm sure environmental health may have been contacted already.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let's find out what's going on. Should the owners stand in terms of the fall coop? I think there was a pig pen there before, because there are many thousands of chicken there. Hello. And some production is taking place. Hello, yes?
Good afternoon, Senator Matt Peltier. How are you?
How you doing? Yeah.
Aaron there, like you said, young brother.
Yes, sir.
You know, the question you raised is a very interesting and profound question about the fall coup and all that. But then a brother raised something that you should be concerned about. And I don't think you're a spokesperson for the hotel people. Remember, it's $75 million US dollars.
Yes.
Not 75 million EC dollars. And we do not know what the cost of the hotel. Do you know how much the hotel was? That's made public, how much the hotel actually cost?
I think they said 75 million. I think maybe US dollars is 75 million.
I said, do you know how much it costs to build?
No. I haven't gotten that cost yet. No,
so
not.
There are lots of things there you do not know, we do not know about. But there are some other peripheral matters, if you wouldn't mind, I want to raise.
Yes, go ahead.
We heard the Prime Minister talking so excitedly about the hotel. You recall there was a press conference when a question was raised about a building being built in the middle of Roseau next to the credit union. When a person asked who was the owner and what was happening there, and how upset he was that the question had been raised about the building of a thing in town. We know who is building the hotel. And then the other question you want to ask, Matt, is about the statement of the Prime Minister about we have so many visitors and overnight arrivals and so on. Is that a fact? Do you have any statistics or data to confirm that the hotels we have are overbooked and there's a need for other hotels, one in Lalikoko? Is that a fact? Are these statements by the Prime Minister correct?
Very interesting questions, huh?
Very interesting. And the Paul Cook matter, the brother previously, he raised the issue. The way we do things in America, a while ago you had a conversation about keeping the law, following the law regarding the Calypso Association and the
Constitution, yes.
The planning division has the authority and power to advise on the building of hotels and poops and stuff. Was there any authority given to construct the fall cage, construct the hotel? Was planning permission granted to the hotel people to build the hotel there? Do you know anything about that?
That's an interesting one. Yes.
Questions that you're not the spokesman for these people. We're not there to make excuses. We're there to raise the tough questions. Was there planning permission to set up the hotel there? And why is the Prime Minister speaking with such alacrity about it? Does he have any special interest? Because there are other hotels going around the place. And the question of occupancy, because he's saying that so many people are in Dominica for overnight stays that it is necessary to have this hotel here. Is that an economic fact? Does he have the data to support? So you see, Matt, I know you're a very brilliant guy. So these are the questions. You don't let us say about the fall coup and let us before government to come in and arrange with the people.
But do you think for environmental reasons, you think that's the best place for that fall coup there?
But the fall coup was there before the hotel. What's the planning division position? Who the planning division ought to have been informed and involved in that matter long before the hotel began. The person raised that point to you. So now that the hotel is completed, the person who has the fall could there can make reasonable demand. And don't make no excuse, $75 million, and you don't know how much the hotel cost. It could have cost 50 million EC, and then you got 75 million US. You don't know. We don't know that. So they can probably afford to give the person probably 20 million, 25 million. So these are the things, Matt, I want you to address yourself to.
Okay.
And solve. You need to get Paul Cook to get money. Okay, my brother?
We'll speak.
Free money. They have to get authority to build hotels in Dominica.
You think they should be compensated there for that fall cope if they asked to move?
Like all these matters, you see the planning, the rule of law. These matters should have been addressed before the completion of the hotel. That's what I know you're an intelligent journalist.
Yes.
And these are the things I want you to hit. I want you to approve them, Matt.
We'll find out. All right. Somebody says that there's no way, this fall could worth $20 million with all that chicken. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You're back. Yes.
You cannot say that the person's place is not worth 20 million because
I didn't say that. I asked the question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, well, I think I can, with my layman's knowledge, I can give you a little synopsis of what I think.
Okay.
Matt, you have a fall cook there. It maybe was not worth $10 before the hotel started. As soon as the hotel started going up, Matt, it increased the value of the person's place, Matt. It increased the value of the person's place. You understand me? So this is the problem with planning, or whether they just decide to build a hotel and worry about planning. The other thing, Matt, Roosevelt carried he sounds happy that place in Soufriere is to be opened.
Soufriere? Or Lale Coco?
Huh?
Lale Coco? Coco
well,
Philip,
yes. Not Lale Coco now?
Yes.
Down Lale Coco? Well,
right there, Lale Coco, right there, yes, Lale Coco.
But Matt, I want to ask Roosevelt Carey, please. You telling us about that hotel in Lale Coco. What about the Moroccan hotel? Give us some info, credible info as to when it is going to open.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Let's stick to the hotel there that we're talking about, huh? Hello, yes, for now. Talk to me.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you, Blue.
Matt, that hotel there, Matt, do you know who's the real owner of that hotel?
Well, based on what has been presented, it's the owner of what's his name? I think it's Mr. Capitolin. Yes,
Capitolin, like the owner of the hotel.
That's what I've been told.
Another question, Matt. How was the person found cook there?
Before?
With all the millions of thousands or the thousands of thousands, that was always it had its problem. Was it there before the hotel? There was thinker put in a hotel there, man?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so right now the person hotel and foul cook shouldn't be a problem because it was just before the hotel.
You said it shouldn't be a problem. It will be a problem because, of course, the guests will take the scent of what's coming out from there.
Yeah, but not they knew that before that. If the environmental health people was involved in that and planning for that hotel there, it maybe would come out there already, but maybe no planning was being done. There's a vice thing them people always doing, and money on that table, and who exactly hotel belong to, we don't know. Matt Baba, eh?
All right, let's see this one being resolved. Hello, talk to me. It's not ended now. Hello, yes.
Hello, good afternoon, Matt.
How you doing, my brother? How are you?
Matt, I'm good. Matt, any news associated with the completion of a hotel in Dominica built by the resources of the state is good news, Matt.
Yes.
But when the Prime Minister talks about the opposition was against hotel development, that is lies, Matt. We are concerned about dozens of hotels destroyed by Hurricane Maria and no assistance for them. Local hotels that form part of our base to house visiting Dominicans. It's only new persons that don't know nothing about hotel development that got assistance from this administration. But more than that, this specific hotel in question tell you that there is no coordination with the planning division because this fall coup we are hearing about was there before the hotel. But when you are associated with this administration, you do development since you have access to money. No feasibility study, nothing has been done, nothing is done. Same thing with the airport development at Westlake. And at the end of the day, we end up with a hotel in the swamp taking millions of dollars in cement to mix cement and build cement. So it's a problem this administration have. They just go ahead and do development without planning approval. I am satisfied that a hotel there they have absolutely no planning approval, Matt. And once again, I want to say, any development in Dominica that are going to facilitate the tourism industry.
So what would be your advice for the owner of the Fall Coop next to the hotel?
Matt, a Fall Coop involves a lot of investment. Everybody that involved in agriculture, livestock subsector will tell you the feed production is big money. The building is big money, big investment. They have to sit down with the people. I know there is a lady involved in this development. You have to sit with the lady because food security is just as important as the tourism sector. So it's two pillars of the economy we're talking about. But for a man, because he gets easy money, quote unquote, he go ahead and build a development, and then after he want to pull a switchblade, figuratively speaking, on the Fall Coop. No, you have to sit down with the young lady, the lady, middle-aged, provide her with an alternative and the necessary financing to build a structure like hers or bigger than what she has. We cannot go rough start with the lady in respect to her development because it's food security we are concerned about according to the utterances of this administration. Same thing, they're talking about agriculture, but every feeder road in this country is bad. And before I go, Matt, I must remind the Dominican people, and I must say to Mr. Spirit and Honorable Fidel Grant, what about the Wesley Primary School? School reopened today, and my son had to enter school midday when the Northeast Comprehensive students are leaving. It's shameful.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Let's stick to this subject here this afternoon there. Let's listen to this voice note. Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to
your
yes.
listeners. I talking about a situation with a hotel that is in proximity to
very
a
close
coop that is
next to the hotel. Yes.
And it reminds me of the conversation you had earlier about the coconut vendors who got their vending sites destroyed by police because they were in a wrong location. But apparently that reflects on the administration and the governance of our country. In any country, you would have zoning in your cities or near your cities, and in certain areas they are set aside for different economic activities. If it's manufacturing, if it's agriculture, if it's rental or residential, if it's industrial, whatever the case may be. That's why it's important to have those things. So if the individual had already have a pig farm or chicken farm, or whatever the case may be, that person would have had to get approval from planning, Ministry of Agriculture, the relevant authorities to have that infrastructure there. It's economic development. That person is generating revenue from, rightly so, from their resource, providing meat and meat produce, and that facility also has a value. And if you say they're going to be there for the next 10, 20, 30 years, they can calculate how much revenue and how much value they're going to generate. Now, somebody decides they want to put a hotel in the place. Whoever is giving them the approval for that plan should consider the fact that that area is already housing, a pig farm or a chicken farm. And does it fall within the approved zone for that area, the zoning or planning for that area? And if it doesn't, then somebody has to pay to either move the farm or you have to find some other place to put the hotel. It's that simple. So if we are in a country and we do not have proper zoning laws, we do not have proper assigning of areas for economic activities, that is a problem. It's not that complicated. I just think the people who are running Dominica like we have seen before, have lost their way. I don't want to say they're either too stupid or dumb or flow-headed, but it surely seems that way, because something that is already established in any governance place, something that simple, shouldn't be such a controversy. So if the guy is asking for $20 million, he has every right to ask for what he wants, because you cannot tell me that you already have plans and you already have an economic activity that is operating in the place, and you put a hotel next to that place, and all of a sudden you're telling the gentleman to move, especially if he had gone through the right channels for plans and he set a plan, because I'm certainly sure he didn't just come in and build a pig pen or a fall pen. A fall coop in that area without planning and without approval. So the hotel is not more important than his economic activity, as long as it's legal. So those simple solutions can be solved when you have people properly administering the affairs of the country. And that includes the simple things as setting up zones, setting up plans, utilizing the ministries, the relevant ministries that I know have been established for acts of parliament to do just that. And we have these conflicts when we have a state that is running on autopilot or running by an individual, of an individual head. But it's not a complicated case, but all these things are manifestation of the bad governance in our country that needs to be removed. And unless we realize that we, the people, have to make a change, the stupidity will continue, Matt Pelty. Good afternoon to you.
This neighbor of mine tell me all the time that I would do fine in Parliament. She recommend me for integrity, too much corruption in government. I tell her no, that's not for me. Mama, I was raised with honesty. Oh, darling, I believe a clear conscience.
Should the fall coop go and the hotel remain there? And that's a very big question. Eh? Some questions about how many millions should be paid to that lady. Is it worth that, huh? On the telephone, that discussion will continue, I'm sure. Hello, yes? Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Mark, I find out we Dominicans need to look after the public of Dominica. All these land problems that we have is because we don't have good governance. You think what I have to say?
I'm listening.
This land in question is belonging to the public. This is a public land. As far as I know, this land, this was a public bid.
A public? No. So based on my knowledge, because actually many years ago, I was offered a piece of land in that same area, but it was owned by Money God. So I don't think you want to call it public bitch. I don't think we have the, and I know the sons of Mr. Emmanuel is still around, and I never knew that area was public bitch. I never knew that. Never.
Are you going to listen to me?
I'm listening to you. I'm telling you what I know.
Before Money God owned the land, who did Money God pay for the land? That was a bitch, a stone bitch. And then
you're still there, you know. You're still there. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I said, this was a stone bitch. It was the bitch, just stone and money. That land came about by the development of Wall House and Castle Comfort. They throw all the soil there. They covered the stone bitch. But that land was money got paid for that land.
Well, I don't know that. That's what I tell you is what I know.
Corruption, abomination,
that's a different question. Who owns the land? Who are the former owners of the land? But I know these developers there may have paid Money God for their land, because I know I was offered a piece there. So, hello, talk to me. Talk to the lawyers about that. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, last time, man, because we need different topic.
Yes,
where the owner of the farm from?
The owner of the farm, I don't know. So I think she's Guyanese American, American Dominican. She maybe have a Dominican passport as well. Yes.
Okay, well, why I asked that? It don't matter too much, but if the lady was there first, I don't know the land belongs to her or whatever, but if the lady was there first, as I can put it locally,
right,
and she really have to move now, because if them not come and push out, they should pay her properly, compensate her properly. But what I noticed, Martin, in the Caribbean, especially the next sister island there, let me talk quick.
Yes.
In Antigua now, you can research for yourself. Even a man, he's 70-something years now, and he's working after his mother on a piece of land. And just because some developer come and they're working close, they cause him man to move from the place. And I see people that do that. So it looks like in the Caribbean here, them leaders, I don't know, setting the people aside.
So you're saying they're giving the foreigners the priority?
Even more than priority. They have them working on us in our place. And that's why you see, I thank God I'm not too more ambitious than how I did. Because Matt, I would do something personal. They would do, you see what they do wheelchair with the trail? Although I don't support wheelchair. But you see, I don't like how government like to come and bully people. And Matt, whether they would like a note, but somebody would understand and something would be taught. Anyway, I listen.
All right, brother. According to my grandma, somebody says, the boo-boo tell the Kong, if you're not comfortable, then get out, huh? On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. But
Good afternoon, Matt.
But based on what I see, a lot of the visitors, the hoteliers would be very uncomfortable in that area. Hello, talk to me, yeah?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Matt, as far as my recollection goes, or my memory goes, that place was pretty much free. Somebody backfilled it and created that property. Am I wrong, Matt?
Well, I don't have that history. All I know,
You drive by there every day, man. That place was backfilled. That didn't exist. Someone backfilled that and created that space to put that hotel. Most of it.
Owned by who? Owned by who? That space.
Matt.
Yeah.
The backfilling process went on for years there. Backfilling till they had enough land there to put a structure. That was CB4, as far as I remember.
But the land has been for sale for many years.
Yes, but not as a backfilled property. They backfilled it, Matt. That's my point. So now that it looks like it can take a hotel, and that other place was there, if it's there, been there legally, they're going to have to compensate that person adequately to move them. They can't just decide to move them because they come and put a hotel there on land that they backfilled into the sea. I don't think that's fair.
All right. I will talk to one of the landowners there in that area. I think one of the sons of Mr. Emmanuel. Hello, talk to me, yes? Who knows?
I think that people land there. Mr. Emmanuel had other children.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a first son called Andrew, I think. He was in front of O.J. Seraphim. And I think that man there, it was, I think, gave him this land. But I think he's dead. But he has another young brother called Leslie.
Yes, and I'll ask Leslie about who used to own that land before all this controversy about land. But we're talking about the hotel and we're talking about the Fall Coup. And then the argument is the Fall Coup was there first, but now the hotel is here. Should the Fall Coup go? Someone is making a point. Hotels by foreign investors don't empower the people. The hotel industry in the Caribbean is the new plantation that abuses the black and brown people of the Caribbean.
Everything is back to front. And if I didn't know better, between you and me partner, I would swear that is what the crooked lawyers them want.
Keep it on your diary. I can tell you This controversy is not over. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Are you there? No, you're not. A hotel or Foco? On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Good afternoon to you. Oh, boy.
I live in the Lubia area.
Yes, sir.
I mean, people like to say talking a lot, but I only talk about what people need to know. I was a cop for 40 years. I never disclosed not one secret.
Yes.
I got 3,000 plus tips as the coordinator of Crime Stoppers, and nobody knows how I got it.
All right.
But I always talk facts and reality. And some jokers like to say I talk a lot, but I always talk.
Talk your facts, my brother. Talk your facts.
When I was the chairman of the council, I told the proprietor of the hotel to write to the council so I can follow it up with solid waste before that hotel completes so they can think. He tell me, no, man, we'll take care of that. And I wouldn't say more on it except to say that if Mr. Leo Emmanuel was alive, they would never have a fall coop. That's a dwelling area. And whether the ladies support whoever, blue or red or black, they should never have a fall coop there in a community like that. Yes, I want you to sell your eggs. Yes, your business. But you cannot have a hotel. From the time you leave the junction of Wallhouse, you're starting to take that smell. How can you have a hotel there? I'm happy for hotels. I'm glad. People going to get employed. 30-something going to open when they open. But they have to strike a balance. You have to remove that. Because when I got my land in Wallhouse, I got a document. I think they call it some encumbrance or what have you. And Leo said you shall not have no animals in Wallhouse area. No shop. No this, no that. And people had to comply. And if you try to do anything like wooden house and so on, he would find some way to deal with that. So I cannot understand. I mean, whether the fellas trying to justify lady had it there already. But in a community like that, you cannot have a Folke farm, especially when a hotel come in. So they must have some sort of thing. I sure government can acquire some kind of thing should happen. You see the same thing like the Sufria killing? That should have been dealt with long time. The man should have been told, look, man, this is Dominica and this is a public place. But anyway, everybody afraid to take action until something happens. Another thing, the bridge enter in there now as they put the hotel going to open. I have been recommending to them every afternoon I walk. You have to paint that in reflective paint. Because if they don't put a lamp pole direct there, guys singing in the night, two guys trying to go in the bridge, I've seen some near thing. They have to paint that in reflective paint.
Okay.
They have to give a facelift on the area there. Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. So you're saying the fall coop should go?
Yes. They have to take it out. Whether they have to compensate or what have you, you cannot have a fall coop. There's no hotel. I've been in all hotels all over the world, from Abu Dhabi to Germany to Europe, all these places, and so on. I've never seen that kind of thing close to a hotel. Something has to be done, and they have to do it soon. Thank you.
All right, Dominica, we've got to go. This subject, I tell you, we will continue. Hotel or Foco? On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, we'll wrap it up at the 3:15. Yes, talk to me.
Matt, yes, I just that caller just before me spoke of something, Matt, and I know that was going to come up about acquiring that property. Matt, the government can only acquire property for public purpose.
That's what I was told. Yes.
So the only thing that can be done, there has to be some negotiation between the two owners, okay, and you pay off the lady at reasonable price. But there's no way the government now can get involved in this matter, okay? Because they cannot acquire, the woman compulsorily acquire the person's property, all coop, and to give to somebody else. So it cannot be done by law. You can only acquire for public purposes, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon to all Dominicans. Matt, what you did not say is whether that where the fowl coop is, whether it was private lands.
It is.
Because if it's private lands, the lady can charge what she wants for her land. And we know that strength is might, as well as money talks and bullshit walks. But if that were my property, I would demand my money for it, because if I have my investment there, this is my way of life. This is what I live by. You can't come and destroy it because it is you chose to erect your structure there. And another thing, Matt, If it is causing a public nuisance, which is the stench of the of that same foul
yes.
house, then is either she cleans up her place, but if she chose to have her foul house where it is, it should not be a nuisance to me. I should be able to live, breathe, and walk by comfortably. I should not have to hold my air and run. So lady, yeah, I think you should really, do what you have to do to keep the environmental clean and healthy. And yes, demand your money. Demand your money. Let them give you your money. Thank you.
Man who not working nowhere. Oh, mama, living $1 million villa.
Somebody says the smell is coming all across the loop, yeah?
Against the country and people. Criminals running up.
So it's an environmental concern for the residents around the area. Should government intervene? That's a different question as well.
It's the latest trend in the country. And it's baffling everybody. So high in society. They are the ones bringing down the country.
Of course, I'll try my very best. I'm going to see if I can talk to the proprietor. Of course, this hotel was built by CBA funds. I'm going to try to get to Mr. Capitol before we go, okay? It's only fair that you get his side of the story as well.
Is back to front. And if I didn't know better, between you and me, but
Think around. This is the talk on the block, and it just continues.
society, the ones bringing down the country. Everything is upside. Everything is back to front. And if I didn't know better, I would swear it's good working in Dominica. Everything is inside out. Everything is back to front.
All right, sir.
And if I didn't know better,
I did call Mr. Capitol and he's on the telephone, of course.
I would swear that is what the politicians them want.
I'm happy that he is on the telephone, of course, and giving his side of the story. Mr. Capitol, good afternoon to you, sir.
Hi, good day, Matt. How are you?
All right, and congratulations on the new edifice there in that Roseau South area. Mr. Capitol, tell us the backstory to that hotel before we get to the fall coup and where the fall coup should go. Yeah, tell me.
Well, Matt, first of all, I want to take the opportunity to thank the Dominican public, the government, who entrusted this confidence in me in being able to execute this project. I could single-handedly single out one person who really had that confidence in me, because the 69,000 people, 999 people who live in Dominica, including the 300,000 who live overseas, thought that I should not have been given that opportunity. And it is fitting for me to really thank the Prime Minister who trusted a young person in Dominica who could have executed that project. And I really want to say thank you. And to the Dominican public who has supported me. Though in the beginning, most thought that I would not have been able to, but at the end, they really rallied around me, and I really appreciate that. And thank you to every single one of them.
Now, Mr. Capitol, what was planning involved in this operation?
What?
Planning, the Ministry of Planning. Yes, okay.
Yes, of course. All the necessary planning approvals were sought. We will give them provisional planning approval to start in the beginning. There were a number of things that from planning requested. We did most of which. They gave the necessary applications for approvals for us to proceed. There still remain one or two things that remain outstanding, but nothing out of the ordinary that did not give us the necessary permissions to proceed.
Okay, so tell us, because people have been already asking. We heard $75 million US for that hotel. Is that a complete cost?
Well, persons assume that it is $75 million US. This was a project. A project, when submitted, has different components of the project. So It's not the cost of the hotel. It's the cost of an investment that involves marketing, that involves searching for sales overseas, that involves a number of things. It's an entire project that is submitted in terms of what you need to raise to do the entire project. But it is not limited to the cost of the building or anything of that sort.
In terms of the cost of the building, can you give us any estimates?
But Matt, what I can say is that I am willing to open this building up to any independent person. To one, they are free to visit the building, do all the necessary testings and checks to see how much they assume that building to cost me. And I would also want them to, as well, they can verify all my necessary bank accounts to verify how much money I raised for that project, and to verify whether indeed I robbed anybody in the execution of this project. So I'm open to that. Any independent banker, financier, architect, engineer, feel free to come in. I'll be happy to open the doors for them. And I would be happy to open all my bank accounts for them. I don't believe that I am.
So you're being very transparent at this time with this, yes.
I believe, because of where I sit, because of the position I sit, I always think that it is important that I ensure that I should be able to undergo all the levels of scrutiny as it relates to that project. And I am open to that, and with no restriction.
Okay.
Any independent person, it could be opposition, it could be whoever it is, I am free to open up all my bank accounts and all my details associated to that project for them. This is what I will say on that.
Okay, the questions will come, Capital. I'm happy that you're answering the questions as they come. Is the hotel a government property, or is it private enterprise?
Whether it's a government property, you said?
Yeah, somebody's asking whether it's a government property or private enterprise.
So the project, as you know, under the Citizenship by Investment project, it allowed persons to have been able to develop projects. When I start a few years back, when I conceptualized that project, I had to ask myself, but wait a while now, if the man can come from wherever he builds, come up with an idea, conceptualize an idea, and build Kempinski. If another man could come from wherever he came from and do something in the valley, if Sam Raphael could do the same thing on the Jungle Bay, if Gregor Nassif could do something and do
Secret Bay, yes.
If the others could have done theirs, who's doing the one in the valley? If the guy who's doing Ian Edwards, my very good friend, who's doing the one in Salisbury, and Alec Lawrence, who's doing the one in Portsmouth, if all of them could have done it, what happened to me? I could not have tried. And this is what I was able to use. And I said, but if these guys can do it, why can't I try? And I thought it necessary to do the necessary work and give it an opportunity. While at the same time, these many people around the country were doubting these programs as to whether they are indeed authentic or not. And I really tried. And I say that I must really thank the government for trusting a black, ordinary poor man from Layo, born in Grand Bay, to be given an opportunity who had absolutely nothing, and grant somebody that opportunity. And this, I must say, is tremendous of this government.
So it's all CBI funds and no personal funds there.
Well, there are personal funds, of course, because you need to understand the way this project operates, Matt.
Okay.
You have to develop your project, conceptualize your project. You would have to find means and ways to raise some of the revenue. If you can get funding for the complete project, you're able to get the necessary funding through the project. Remember how the project operates. The government does not give you a check. Government does not give you money. You write a project and you tell the government, I am writing a project. It is anticipated to cost X amount of dollars. I want you, government, to please approve my project under the CBI, where once a project is approved under the CBI, the only thing the government does for you, when you find a person willing to invest in your project, the government reward them for investing in your project by granting them a citizenship of the Commonwealth of Dominica. So government rewards an investor who invests in my project. Government grants them as a gift for investing in my project, citizenship of Dominica. So it is important to know that persons are the one who invest in this project, and it's not directly government investment. Government investing by contributing a passport to the person who invests, but it's not government's money. I hope that is understood in that way.
Okay. Would you be able to tell us how many passports were sold for that project?
For this project, I would have sold just over 200 or so, 200 or so passports.
Okay.
A lot of them I still have, I can sell, but the market does not permit for at this time. I'm struggling in the market. Luckily, I've been able to come across loans and picked up a few resources here, there, and everywhere, and I'm able to push it through. But it's not because I still have a number of allocations allotted to me that I can say to you, Matt.
Well,
and I can say to you, I can say to you, there's an assumption of how many allocations somebody would have been given, and there's an assumption at what cost.
Okay.
The person is supposed to make the allocations available. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is what did the person actually receive.
When time permits, Mr. Capitole, I will give you a chance to face the public. They have many questions, and I'm sure you will take that opportunity to answer some of the questions, I'm sure. Yes?
Sure, but I don't see what better I can do than today, Matt. I mean, obviously, persons have their own answers.
Yeah.
And obviously, persons would never want the answers that I provide. So I would recommend that they use the answers that they have if they cannot use the answers I provide.
Somebody's asking there another question. So many questions coming. Will you help others get their own? Can other persons? Let me just see if I can simplify that answer or that question. Would any Dominican can get involved in this enterprise in terms of selling passports? Any other Dominican that wants to take a chance?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know what the person means by selling passports. Like I say, and I will repeat for clarity.
Okay.
This is not about selling passports. You develop a project. And once you develop your project, you do your necessary costings, your drawings, your whatever it is. And you say to the government, I have this project.
Okay.
I am going to look for my investors to invest in my project. Can you please, government, reward anyone who agrees to invest in my project? Can you reward them with a citizenship of Dominica?
Okay.
This is how it works. I just want there to be clarity as to how it works. Government has not given me $1. Government has not given me 1 cent and tell me, look, go and do this.
All right. So the final question coming from the public, and many questions are coming in. But once the fact that you have been successful, Mr. Capitole, would he suggest, or would you, any other young person, to be able to have an opportunity to use the state resources or CBI to do such a development? And I think you have answered that question indirectly just a few minutes ago.
Well, I cannot speak to what government will approve.
Right.
I cannot speak for the government.
Right.
I can advise people that be careful with negative talk associated with the CBI. Because if you're engaged in negative, you will never be able to see the positive of being able to benefit under such a program. So I, for example, Matt, I will say to you, I don't think Ocean Edge should have gotten a CBI project before, let's say, Anchorage Hotel.
Okay.
Or Cicero or Evergreen Hotel or Cicero Hotel. But probably now you would have to ask them, why did they spend so much time doubting this program, and why did they never develop a program to try to access those resources? Are you with me?
I'm with you. That's why I want to move to the next question.
But that's why you have to be careful. You must not engage in this thing about Jumbie money. And if you think it is Jumbie money, then capital that don't think it's Jumbie money is going to try to access it, while you that's scared of it because it's Jumbie money gonna be fearful of it. And these are the issues.
Mr. Capitola, let's come to the issue at hand right now. We have a fall coop right next to the hotel you have developed and plan to open very soon. There's controversy over that. Whether this fall coop should move or whether the hotel should just accept it and move on. What's your position? What's your position?
Well, fundamentally, there are certain things that we must be clear of. One, I own a property in the Lalekuku area where the hotel has been constructed.
Right.
I have no jurisdiction over any property left at the front, at the back, at the side, above me, or below me. I only have jurisdiction over what is mine. So I can't control or dictate to somebody what they must or they must not do on their property. So let us be clear about that. What I will say, however, I mean, it is extremely disturbing to me and to many users and to persons who use the area as to the disturbance that is produced as a result of the activity. Notwithstanding, I believe that I have seen many folk groups all over the world, all over Dominica, that if done properly and managed properly, that the two can cohabitate and there should be no problem. But the only request I have, and I would say, is that once this thing does not create a disturbance, just like I have in my guest, or I would have done an activity there. Once my activity does not disturb her activity, she should not have a problem with me. And I don't see no reason why we should have a problem if this is maintained with the sanitary and the necessary requirements that it should based on environmental rules and standards. That's all I would say, but I don't believe that I have to demand.
Let's get to the point, Capitola. You don't think at the stage it is following environmental standards? I want you to be very blunt with me.
What was that?
I said, at this stage, do you think the fall coop is being done with all the international environmental standards? Do you have concerns about that?
I can't say there are days or there are weeks that things are very good out there, that the air is pretty clear and there are no real complaints from anybody. But there are times it is extremely unbearable, that I can say. And what must be done is to devise a mechanism where it will always be bearable. That is what I would say. So whatever mechanism that would be, what would require that, because other than that, as is, the two will not be able to operate as is. So if it has to remain as is in terms of what is available today, that would be a problem, of course. And obviously, I can tell you, Matt, I mean, obviously, it is sad for me. It is sad for those who have invested in the project. There's nothing I can do outside of myself. It is what it is. This is something that I have to live by. But I just wanted to ensure that I fulfilled my legal obligations and in terms of my commitment, in terms of what is it that I set out to do as it relates to that project. And this project will come to an end by early October, and we will be able to receive guests by festival if all goes well. So this is where it stands. I have fulfilled all my obligations, and
but given your concerns, and which is legitimate, given your concerns, Mr. Capitola, would you, talking to your investors, as you say, willing to compensate the lady so that she can move on to some other property?
But Matt, the issue of compensation, like I said to you, compensation would come into play if I am willing to take her property from her. I'm not trying to take her property from her. Let us be clear. Neither am I trying to tell her she cannot or should not operate there. I think it is only fair that wherever anyone operates, that they should be able to operate within a certain standard and quality that does not affect anybody else. That's all. I mean, that is our constitutional right. And she is within her constitutional right once she does not affect anybody else. And I don't see the need of compensate. I'm not taking her property from her.
So you're not considering for your guests, the hoteliers that will come in, the investors who may have some concern, saying, you know what, for everybody to be happy, let's compensate this lady and move on.
But but when you say compensate for what? Am I compensate for what? Is she going to leave?
If she's willing to leave, would you compensate?
But have I created injury to compensate? That's the question. If I'm going to compensate somebody, it means that they would have had to create some injury. Now, in good faith, and I can say that openly to you, if the lady, I'd be happy if in good faith she decides she finds somewhere alternative, and probably I can make some sort of a contribution towards her relocation, things of that nature. And once I am able to do that, I'd be happy to so do.
So, in other words, you're willing to consider, because you said earlier that it may be causing some environmental issues with you, and you said some days are good, some days are bad. So you prefer that your guests enjoy an atmosphere that's very clean. You'd prefer, yes?
Well, it is not just me. It is obvious, Matt. I mean, anybody would prefer. That's what they would prefer. But I am still saying, and I still believe that if the operation can and should not be a nuisance, not only to me, and forget about me. Outside of me and outside of, I will be gone someday, Matt. And this hotel can probably not be there and probably can shut down. But can people who continue to use the area and continue to live in the area, to traverse the area, I don't want it to be made about me. It's not about me. Who is me? I'm just an ordinary person that could be here today and gone tomorrow.
But
if the Dominican public is, and if people are comfortable and the ladies and people are comfortable and the necessary authorities are comfortable that the lady is doing nothing wrong there, and I have no problem with that.
Don't you think it would create?
I can only do what is within my control, man.
But you've seen the structure. Would you say it's add to the ambience of your hotel? Would it add to the ambience of your hotel? It doesn't, does it?
Well, obviously not, but I still can't control what somebody does on their property. I still can't.
Mr. Capital, as a Ministry of the Ministry of Environment, have they gotten involved?
Well, I would say this, Matt. Matt, me and you know Dominica,
right?
And I know Dominica. Matt, there might be many more Dominicans who sit in their bedroom and who sit in front of their radios this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's an ordinary black Dominican would probably wish.
You're stressing the word black. I mean, we all one people, aren't we?
Because I would have to say black, because probably if it was white, they would have thought otherwise. But generally, the Dominica that I live, you'd be surprised to know the number of persons who would be calling now and telling the lady, don't move nowhere. Stay where you are. Don't worry these people. So, Mark, but this is Dominica. This is what it is. I have to pass through life once, and as I go, I learn. And let the chip fall where it may. It is what it is. I learn to live with it. Either way, good or bad, not, I will accept it.
Mr. Capital.
It's the Lord who giveth, and it's the Lord who shall take away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Let's talk sometime. I'm hoping you can accept my invitation to come and live and take some questions, okay? All right.
What more questions can I take, man? I've taken all your
questions. There are many, many questions there. I can't, because of time, I can't ask every question, but there are many, many other questions.
Any questions you have that you feel I did not answer, the people who are asking the same questions, they have their own answer. But notwithstanding, feel free to call me. I'm happy. I'm open. And the Dominican public, feel free to visit, man. It's not mine. It's the people.
October 1? Hello?
October 1.
October 1. Capital, let's talk sometime. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, Dominica, we've got to go. I'll repeat that interview sometime in the morning, okay? So you'll have a chance to ask more questions. If I have to call him back, I will. But we've got to go. We've got to go. Okay? We've got to go. Until next time, this is it for us. She recommended me for integrity, too much corruption in government. You see, people already telling me Capital they're not talking the truth. You see? And many, many other questions. Honesty. But time does not permit me. You've got to go. I believe a clear conscience. Better than dollars and cents. I could not participate in a disorganized state where the directorates and the legal